Hey everybody, bonus training. One of our technicians, Daniel, was at a customer's house, actually not a house, it was a church, and they had a grand piano, and this is going on. So there was obviously some misfiring and some weird stuff going on, and he found out that it was this. So as you can see there, the Backchecks are completely gnarled. They've been basically cut by the end of those tails, and so now they've split. And so there's quite a few of them that are both worn and then also full-on split. So we're going to be replacing the Backchecks and the wires with brand new Renner parts. So here's the replacement part right here, you can see, versus the old one. Now, there's some tricks that we've learned over the years on how to do this well. And what I have found in doing this is the easiest thing you can do is use like a vice grip. Now, what I have right here is a vice grip that I have clamped to the table, as you can see. I just kind of clamped it to the bench. I probably could try to use these new, benches and the clamps, but I'm just so used to this. I'm gonna basically show you how we do this with this setup right here. Kind of a cool angle. So the first thing you're going to do is remove the existing Backcheck. And so what I do is I clamp it up right here so that it is being held. As you can see there, this vice grip is holding, that block right there. Normally they keep it that block. And so what I'm going to do is I have a series of tools like this to kind of pull that up. But what I like to do is this right here. Let's see if I can get a good angle. So many angles we can choose from, so let's just try this. Bear with me. Again, this wasn't planned. It was just, hey, I'm doing it. Why not show you? I usually kind of kink the Backcheck over with the wire, and then just using some kind of a pliers, I twist it up and out. Let's see if it'll come up. Let's tighten this down a bit. Yep. Another thing that you can do is if you need to kind of wedge something underneath, I can get a flathead screwdriver, put it underneath, and just kind of loosen it up that way. And that is coming out nicely, easy. So as you can see, these aren't actually threaded. So this is what it comes out like. This isn't, obviously it's not threaded. And the new ones aren't threaded either. So they're meant to just pound down into that cavity right here. The only thing is you want to make sure that when you press it down, that it goes down to the right height. And so what we don't want is this to be too long and it blows out the bottom of that key. And so what I typically do is get a reference note. So this is like note number 1. And I look at it and I'm like, okay, if I'm going to match the height, which is paramount, we have to match that height. Look at that. It's right at that bottom there. So I'm actually going to snip about an 1/8 inch, maybe a 1/4 inch off of my brand new Backcheck wire. So you can see here, I'm just going to snip it off. I'm going to go ahead and insert this key back in to the clamp. And then just using a small hammer, I'm going to slowly, carefully just tap this into place. Typically what I do is I tap it so that it's flush with that, with this kind of indentation right here. So as you can see, I'm going to tap it right to where it's flush with that, and then just check my reference note. So I can see right here, I need to bend it a little bit, but I need to go down. I need to go down good 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch. So I'm going to go ahead and tap it some more. Checking the bottom, make sure we're not blowing anything out. Better, but still a little bit high. So I'm going to go just a little bit more. Testing it with my other one, or with the original, I should say, and that's pretty perfect. Maybe just a little bit more. I'm going to straighten it out a little bit, and there we go. we've replaced the Backcheck and the Backcheck wire. We've taken the old one out, put a new one in, and we're set. So we can put that back. So that, in a nutshell, is how you replace the Backchecks and the wires just pretty efficiently. Again, you need kind of a workbench clamp, some clamps to clamp it, the clamp to the bench. Again, I use a small hammer like this, some kind of a wire cutters to cut the excess wires of those Backchecks, some kind of a plier to pull those Backchecks out, as well as a flathead. And once I have all of these, Backchecks replaced, I'll work on putting the action back on and then spacing these Backchecks to the back of the tails, the hammer tails. And so this is a fairly invasive job. I'm gonna give myself probably about 4 hours to do it. I'm also gonna check the tails and see what's going on with the tails, because they sliced through that Backcheck felt. Now this is an old piano. This is from 19-teens, so it could just be wear and tear, but I do want to make sure that those edges on the tails aren't too sharp, just so I can I might have to grind those down so we don't have this problem happening in the future. But again, thanks for chiming in. This is just an extra. I'm doing this and might as well bring you along with me. We're probably going to do more of these now that I'm kind of back for the summer in the facility. So there might be a pop-up, hey, we're doing a training right now. And so this was, again, the Backcheck wire removal and then reinstallation of the parts. So there you go. See you later.